I can't believe it's day 10 already, day 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. Today we're keeping you organized, accurate, and maybe even a little bit cleaner. Plus we've got a great new book for those of you who love 10-inch squares. Here's a new book from Carolina Moore. It is 10-inch square quilt block book, and it's all about using layer cakes. Who doesn't love to collect layer cakes? You get 40 to 42 squares, mostly different fabrics. You get the whole line of fabric, a whole bunch of varieties. Somebody's done the work and picked the fabric for you. Most layer cakes have 40 to 42 fabrics in them, and these patterns are written for 10-inch squares. There are 13 different patterns in the book, but with all the different layouts and variations she gives you, you get more than 40 quilt patterns. Now, most of these quilts are lap size because you're only using one layer cake, but she does teach you how to make them bigger by adding background fabric, making more blocks, or adding borders so that you have bigger quilts. This book and layer cakes work in conjunction with Carolina's cake cutter ruler. This book is a great value. It'll help you make some use out of those layer cakes you've been collecting. This is the 10-inch square quilt block book from Carolina Moore. Here's a pretty and practical password keeper to keep your websites and passwords organized. The artwork is by Jara Brandbig. She is located in Seattle, and her quilting company is Quilting in the Rain, thus the Quilting in the Rain password keeper. Do you have all your passwords memorized? Me either. I hardly remember my own phone number. This is a great little book. It's coil bound, so it lays flat when you open it, and then it's alphabetized by website. There's room for your username, your passwords, and any notes that you might need to put for your website. The Quilting in the Rain password keeper is going to help keep you organized and free your mind for quilting. You don't have to remember all those passwords. You've got them written down. All right, here's one of my favorite finds from Quilt Market. This demo at Quilt Market was amazing. Thanks to Barb for taking it home, shooting some videos, and she's going to show you how it works. But I just want to introduce the different pieces. This is the Mighty Go. Here's we call this the medium. And this is the Travel Go, and then the mitt. Stay tuned and watch Barb's video, and then I have no pride. I shot 2 quick videos to show you. I love this long-handled one, and you're about to see how dirty my ceiling fans are.
Hi, my name is Barb, and I'm going to show you a new system that the ladies found at Quilt Market. And it's amazing. I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. So I want to share it with you. I haven't really given it much of a try. I'm going to try it here in front of the camera. But first I'm going to show you what comes with the package. You get the manual, of course. There's not much in it because there's not much to it. It's really simple to use. There is a lifetime warranty on all the pieces. If the stickiness wears out for any reason, send it back and you can get a brand new one. So this is the one with the handle, and it can be lengthened or shortened. And it comes with a little plastic seal on it. And looks like that. If I touch it, super sticky, super sticky. I'm going to show it on the floor in a few minutes. So I'll put that down. It comes with the regular size, and this is the one you'll probably use most often. Again, there's a plastic little acetate on it, but it also has a plastic cover that you can, and it doesn't touch anything to bother the stickiness of it. It doesn't hit this. It stays clear. This is really cool. Can you see all the mess I made with my Minky? I cut up a little bit of pink and a little bit of yellow Minky and a little bit of white, and it's all here all over the place. It's even on me. Oops, there it goes. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to show you. If I touch it to my mat, it'll almost lift my mat. It's so sticky. It looks like it's magnetic, but it's not. It's just that sticky. And of course the magnet wouldn't work on this stuff. Wow, it's cleaning it all up. Look how full it is, and it was still picking stuff up. So I bet you're wondering how I'm going to get rid of all that. Super easy. Take it to the sink, rinse some warm water over it, use your hands to wipe it as the water's running, and it just disappears. Now you're not going to want this to go down your drain, so make sure you have that little drain cup in your sink at the time to gather up all that fuzz and throw it in the garbage. So that's this size, and again, it goes into here for protection. I haven't got it in quite right there, but it does work. The next thing I want to show you, but I'm not going to use it, this is a mitt that's best used on a cat or a dog, and you can see the little prickles on it. There's no stickiness. That green sticky stuff is not in here. This is just a rubber or silicone. But apparently when you pet your dog with it, try my shirt. Oh look, it's working. Whew, little bit flying in the air. But when you pet your dog or your cat, you'll pull that right out of the hair, right out of them, and it'll all gather up here. And I'm going to take this over to my daughter's later today and try it on her little puppy because I don't have a cat or a dog here. So we'll try that out, so stay tuned. I'll be back with another video with that. So I've taken this bigger one upstairs where I have a little bit of rug in my house. I don't have any downstairs where I was. I've just vacuumed this, and I'm going to see if there's anything more that this will pick up. I know it's really sticky, and I'm just curious if it will get anything more than my vacuum did. Wow. I don't know if you can see that, but I can sure see lots of dust and grub. Whew. And a hair. Always a hair. So I'm at the sink now, and I'm going to clean this dirty one. You can see I have the little drainer there in case I get fluff. If it was food particles, you could do it on the garburator side if you have one and just let it go down the garburator. But this is not food. This is minky. And it's just warm water. It's not hot. I'm going to give it a good rinse. And then I'm going to start using my hands. And I'm told that this is all you need to do. However, if you're finding that over a few times it's not quite as sticky as it once was, take out your Dawn. Just going to put a drop of Dawn on my fingers. Woo, bubbles. And do the same with the Dawn, just rinse it all off. And then it's just like brand new. Don't dry it on a paper towel because you'll get lint from the towel, the paper towel covering it. But if you take a clean towel, you can just give it a dry. And it's fun. All set to go again. So I've got this all clean, ready to put away. I'm going to put the acetate back on it. I'm not sure that you need to, but that's how I would keep it myself before I put it away. And then drop it in there. So the last piece of this system is this little guy, and you get two of them. So you could have one in your purse and one in your class bag to take with you when you're going to sew, or wherever you like, one in the car. It's tiny, but it's just as sticky as the others. I don't know if you can see any fluff, but I can see it on me. Oh man, it's just disappearing. Wow, magic. Any more? Oh, there's some over there. Wow. And now That has some fluff on it. Back to the sink and it'll be sparkling clean again, just like the other one. And remember, there will be 2 of these in your kit. And there's a lifetime warranty. These acetates are probably disposable, but being the way I am, I probably keep them just to protect them. Especially the one, this one has a cover, this one has a cover, but the big one for sure, I would, the big one for sure I would keep wrapped with this just to keep the dust off it. But that's up to you. Merry Christmas, everybody. So this is little Luca. And I tried the mitt on her and sorry Luca, you're a boy. Luca loves that mitt, but he's a non-shedding dog. I couldn't get anything out of him. Look, no hair. And he's getting groomed this afternoon and still no hair. I can't believe how non-shedding he is. Anyway, I thought you might want to meet him. Sorry about the glove. Have to try something else.
All right, folks, this is why I got excited about Go Sticky at Quilt Market. My sewing room, as you see, has some linoleum, but it also has carpet. And I have a really hard time not breaking vacuum cleaners with all those threads. So let's see how the Go Sticky does, oh my gosh, on my carpet. That is insane. Really, that's crazy. I haven't vacuumed this for a long time because I wanted to do this demo. All right, now I'm going to take it to the sink and show you how easy it is to clean. All right, here we are at my kitchen sink, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to clean the Go Sticky. And how we saw this is at market. Of course, they didn't have running water at their booth, so the lady, every time she dirtied her Go Sticky, she would just put it in a pail of warm water and shake it, and the Go Sticky is clean. That is amazing. All right, here's one of the other great things about the Go Sticky with the long handle. See this little groove? See my ceiling fan? Watch this. I put the ceiling fan in the groove and I roll it. Oh no, this is embarrassing. I haven't cleaned up there for a while. Check out how you can clean your ceiling fans. Here's a great notion to help you be more accurate in your sewing. It's the Edge Guide from Purple Hobbies. I'm going to sit down at my sewing machine, set up the camera, and give you a close look. Here's a handy little tool to help you have very accurate seams. So this is the Edge Guide from Purple Hobbies. So what you get in the box is the guide plate. If you have a featherweight machine or an older machine, you probably have 2 accessory screw holes here. So you can actually screw this down and remove it using those screw holes. I don't have those. So in the box, you get 6 reusable and removable residue-free sticker dots. All I've done is put some double-sided tape on here just for my demo. You get the regular slide bar that moves out in increments of an 1/8 inch. I'll show you how it works right away. That's for sewing straight seams. And then you get the edge stitch bar, and that's for sewing curves. And I will show you how it works. You get the guide for the placement. So let's say we want to stitch a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We have a choice of 1/4, 1/2, 3/8, and 5/8. So I'm going to pop this. I took my foot off so we can see better. And I'm going to put my needle into the hole of this seam guide. All right, now it's nice and straight. I can put my foot down and it's going to hold that in place. And then my T-bar will rest against here and pop into the guide. Now when I remove this, I can put my foot on and stitch knowing that I have an accurate 1/4 inch. So I was wondering how accurate it really is with this moving around. So I tried the 5/8 because I have a 5/8 line on my needle plate, and it does go exactly to 5/8. And this, oh, it came unstuck. There we go. This does go exactly to 5/8. Now, if you use the rounded point, so I think that would probably be 1/4 inch. So I'll just spin this around so it's 1/4 inch again. Make it straight and put this down, and then put the guide in for 1/4 inch. Now with my foot on, as I'm stitching curves, I'm making sure that those two pieces meet right there, and then I know my needle is an accurate 1/4 inch away from that. I think this is a pretty nifty tool, especially for people who are starting out, and I found it actually quite accurate. I did sew some seams and measure them, and I found it accurate. I also like that I can set it way away from my needle plate so it's not in the way of my fabric, and it has a slanted edge so that I can feed my fabric up over top if I need to. This is the edge guide from Purple Hobbies. Here's a nifty find. It's the Magic Marking Pen from Nifty Notions. It's a heat erasable 4-color pen. Linda and I found this at market, and I'll tell you why we liked it. First of all, there's 4 colors in one pen. So I'll show you what it looks like on a medium dark fabric and then on light fabric. That's black, there's red, blue, and yellow. I can tell you right now the yellow won't show up on the orange, and it is altogether a very light yellow no matter where you put it. The yellow also does not show up on black or anything very, very dark, just so you know. So why did we like this pen so much? It is like a roller ball pen, so the application is very, very smooth. So you've seen I made some marks. I'll skip over to my ironing surface and show you how quickly they erase. So they are gone. Now, I always do a test when I test erasable markers of any kind. These 4 in the beginning looked exactly the same. I made the same marks in black, red, blue, and yellow, black, red, blue, and yellow. Then I erased them all with my iron, and they all erased. And then I put these 2, I put all 4 in the freezer because, as you may know, sometimes the ink shows up when it gets cold, and that's exactly what happened. The ink showed up when I took it out of the freezer. So I took these 2 and I laundered them. I washed them with soap, and you can see that the marks are completely gone. So it's important that you know that. Now, I never mark with any kind of marker like this on the front or top of my quilt. I'm usually using this for marking bag making, or I mark in the seam allowance, but I still contend that I really like this pen because it's so smooth. There's no drag at all, and it's got 4 colors. This is the Magic Marking Pen from Nifty Notions. And here's another staff pick for the 12 Days of Christmas. The 60mm Ergonomic rotary cutter from Olfa. So the 60mm cutter is the larger cutter. It uses the 60mm blade. And this is the ergonomic cutter. So what that means is the blade is not engaged until I squeeze the handle, then the blade comes out, and as soon as I release the handle, the blade again is disengaged. Now it does have a locking function, so if I push this red button, now I can't engage the blade. This is a really comfortable rotary cutter to hang on to. This is a rubberized piece to the handle. And it's using the ergonomic cutter is supposed to ease pressure and strain on your wrist and your hand. So it's great for people that have some mobility issues in their hand. The curved handle is really comfy, and it's left or right-handed. So if you're left-handed, you would just take the blade off and put it on this side. There are instructions on the packaging to show you how to do that. I thought it was quite interesting that the 60mm cutter, this ergonomic one, also comes with one of the endurance blades, which is the blade that should last twice as long as a regular blade. So why would you use a larger cutter? Well, I use my large cutter for cutting batting, straightening and cleaning up my quilt. So this is 4 layers of batting. So I just want to show you how easily it cuts through. It didn't even know it was doing it. Here's 8 layers of batting. I don't know when I'd ever do that because you're not going to be accurate, but it does totally cut it. It's great for leather, vinyl, and cork. So there's 2 layers. It doesn't even know I went through anything. And then there's 4 layers of vinyl. And again, it cuts like butter, like just really beautiful. And then when I do bags, and let's say I have 2 layers of soft and stable, and then I have 4 layers of cotton, and then I might even have a handle or a seam in there. To trim that up, my small cutter just isn't deep enough. So you need a larger cutter, a larger distance between the table and the center of the cutter. So it goes through soft and stable just like nothing, and we may as well do 4 layers. I don't know when you'd ever do that, but it certainly cuts it perfectly. So this is the Olfa 60mm ergonomic cutter with the endurance blade. And if you only have the 45mm cutter, this is the next step up in one of the tools that you need. And this was a staff pick for the 12 days of Christmas. If you love layer cakes, you're going to love Carolina Moore's 10-inch square quilt block book. Keep your seams spot on with the edge guide. Keep important information close at hand with the password keeper. And keep your cuts crisp and accurate with the 60mm ergonomic rotary cutter. And keep your home and your sewing room clean with our favorite new tool, the Go Sticky Tools. Everything you need to stitch smarter, stay organized, and enjoy every moment in your creative space. Go ahead and go through the checkout so that they're reserved for you. And wait for it, don't forget to download today's free pattern step. I'll see you tomorrow for day 11.